Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Little France. Well, in the past episode, as you can see, we did Ministère de l'Intérieur, Ministry of Interior, and today we are going to tackle something else. Here on Google Maps, it's one crazy big interchange. It's called Bercy Interchange or something like that, or Bercy Gate, Porte de Bercy. Anyways, no matter how you name it, it looks bad, but I've managed to try to make it mostly the same, even though, to be honest with you guys, I had quite some issues, and I will tell you more, of course, during the entire episode. But I had some issues. I had a big fail, and then I had to take it from scratch and so on. And trust me, it is a big boo-boo. And if you want to ask me why it's a boo-boo, well, let me show you. Here on Google Earth right now, you can see exactly how it looks. Yeah, it is probably mostly it's not easy to drive on this, especially as you can see here, from 2 lanes suddenly you have to get into 1 lane, and these kind of things are happening almost to all roads. So the traffic gets pretty messy, in my opinion. I have never driven there, but I assume it's very nasty when it comes to the traffic, but that's not the main issue for now. The main issue is, so we have, let me show you. So we have this highway which goes like this, and then we have the first level of roads around here. Then we have the second layer of roads coming up here, and then we have the third one coming even higher. So it's the same here and in a few other places. So stacking up like 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, it's not that easy. Trust me, I know what I'm saying, because that was a big boo-boo. And let me show you now on the map. Well, this is let's say this is the easy one because it's already done. You can kind of see it. But look at these highways. They are very thick here, pretty thick, if I wanna say so. So it's it's bad. And hey, what's that? That's something that I took a measure from. So I had to keep like in between all these layers of highways. I had to keep a space. That's why it was that truck down there, because that was my measurement. Also here and now here it gets even, I mean here it's okay, it's pretty tall, but I had to make it like that. Also on the other side, otherwise all these, like this one, were overlapping, and because of overlapping the trucks couldn't get through them, and it's not bueno. Here it's at the limit and so on. And look at some of the ramps have a quite nasty ramp. I managed to make them okay. In some cases I had to do some extra work and whatnot, but otherwise it was a mess. I will show you some little little time lapses. For instance, let me show you this big fail, because I kept this fail time lapse. So the overlaying of these highways was like, at a point I couldn't hire them too much in this up there. It was like messy. Look at this one. This was the last road I put down, and I was like, okay, it's impossible to make like that. I need to do something else. So I cannot hire the highways that much in order for them not to overlay. I need something else. And then I was also thinking, hey, I kinda need to do these green areas as well in between, and I don't have space. I don't have room. So what I did was, as you can see here, it's like this, let's call it a big roundabout, even though it doesn't look like a roundabout. It's not round in real life as well, but hey, let's call it the big roundabout, right? So this big one here, road here, it was like up probably like this, so it was smaller. And the only thing I could have done, I had to make it a bigger now, and also big wider on both sides. This way I could have put all these roads in between there to make them look properly. Cool. Now let's do the first, well, this is the second take, so I'm going to show you now the correct time lapse, the one where I managed to do it properly. And I started by redoing the train lines. That's why I actually left them like that and didn't try to finish them or continue the build of them, because I knew I will have to change them, and that's what it happened. I had to change it, even though in real life there is no curb like this one. The road is almost straight. Well, I'm not trying to copy exactly everything, I'm just taking big inspirations. So that's what I did. Then I figured out there is a tram track right between the road and the train track. So a tram track between the train tracks and the road. And I tried to, as you saw there before, I've tried to manage to put all the nodes in the same area, to have the same height. This way the entire, let's say, levels and all the slopes, everything could have been done properly and correct, from my opinion. So that's what I tried to do, to equalize all those nodes in there. Then I started with the so-called roundabout, which was a big pain, super big pain in. And that was messy. I kept it like that for a long time, like an oval, like an egg, like an whatever, but nothing pretty at all. Because every time I had to add a road, an extra ramp or whatever, I had to try to use the Move It mode to pull all those segments and nodes clearly or easily in order to make, let's say, smoother curves and smoother angles where all these roads are actually meeting. I have to say it out loud, guys. There were like 2 times when I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I love doing intersections, I love infrastructure, road infrastructure and whatever, but God, this was a huge pain, and that's because the space is not allowing me properly to do it correctly. I'm using these highways. These are made by Yogurt, some really cool highways, because they are pretty cool at the angles, for angles. So that's what I tried to make. And in some cases, like in these roads here, I had to get rid of an extra node in order to make this entire road look smoothly. With an extra node on it, it was like pretty ugly. So this is kind of what I did like for hours, and was really a big pain. Even though I'm not happy, because in some cases the highway is super tall, but it is what it is and I can't do anything. Okay, now that the highway or the entire interchange is kind of done, when we talk about the roads, now let's move to the other parts. Like we need to do the entrances, the walls and everything. And I'm using here a pillar made by Ronix, which it's used like like a beam, a concrete beam there at the entrance in the tunnel, and all the green areas are being covered with 2 types of grass, or even 3, actually 3 types. I have some grass surfaces and the slope surfaces as well, and the third one is, well, Ronix's ploppable grass. That's the way it is, and it was done. This is and all the roads are being masked with some retaining walls. I went for some empty whitish retaining walls. Well, that's the let's say the easier way of doing so. If you look on the Google Earth here, this is what we have as well on the retaining wall. It's not completely white, of course. We have this, it's looking like this. We have these, of course, concrete beams, huge concrete beams to hold all the roads there. But everywhere it's grass. As you see here, it's grass. Actually, it's not like dead grass, probably from up here it was taken during the autumn or something. But if we go down here everywhere, or in some cases, it's completely grass, trees, bushes and whatnot. Super green areas, as you can see, it's like a little jungle there, right? Yeah, like that. So now let's look at the rest of the time lapse, which is like cotton from here and there. I don't want to repeat myself and show you every single bit of it, because it's the same thing. Anyway, so in some cases I've added on the, let's say on the side roads, I added little concrete barriers for safetyness, for car safetyness, as it is in real life as well. And I, of course, how come not adding some graffiti in some cases, in some places, to make it look dirty and very bad looking. Probably some garbage or whatever on the ground, or some different kind of things to add extra, let's say, looks, right? Realistic looks. Sadly, in some cases I had to cover with this kind of grass slopes, which are kind of very steep, but yeah, I think it's doable. It's not that bad. I think it's okay. We can survive with those. The ugly areas were actually, how do you say it? Were covered with the actual with bushes. Yes, with bushes, grass, whatever, anything it takes and needs to to make all these ugly areas and the disappear. And the entrances, all the entrances are actually now, I added a black door there, and the reason I add that, it's like, hey, even though it's not dark, but you know, when you come from outside where it's light and you get inside in a tunnel, always it's dark, even though inside there are lights. But I had to add that because inside all these messy spaghetti interchange, it's a big mess. It's a super big mess. We can't, I mean, I don't want to detail stuff inside there, it would be too much. So I had to add those kind of black doors to make it look like it's dark, and that's it, nothing else. Adding bushes, all kind of things, as I said earlier, just to cover the places that cannot be actually covered with something else. And all the entrances into this or under this big interchange stack of roads and whatnot, it's done properly with retaining walls from all places, all directions, to close them up with concrete pillars and concrete beams to fix all these bad looking areas, which are super tall. But hey, it is what it is. Eventually, or apparently, it's nothing I can do about it, sadly. But hey, it is what it is. It's not impossible. It's not that bad. I'm not happy, I have to admit it. It's the only, let's say, way of doing this. If you guys ever are going to try and tackle this interchange, in particular interchange, let me know. I want to see some pictures. Show me the light, guys, because at a point I was like, hey, I can't do this anymore. It's impossible. It's due to very short angles, and because the roads are pretty damn wonky in the game. Okay. I want to show you the rest of the things we did, but before we do that, let me just show you from a closer perspective here. I need to hide this ugly area. Anyways, before doing that, this is what I was telling you about, adding some little details like cracks, graffiti on the floor, some garbage here and there. I added some stain. Can I no, this one. Or is it, let me see, some stains. Yes, these are some stains that were done for the ground, but when you go very close to a retaining wall, you can overlay them there, and it makes like they are super dirty. Well, it was an idea I had there. So all these areas are really okay-ish, closed with retaining walls. with grass surfaces here and there everywhere. We have things to cover them up. Maybe in some cases I still need to add some fixes. Bushes, trees. This is the green door that black door that I was telling you about to make it look like it's dark. Once you get inside there, well, yeah, that's what it is, right? Also here, everywhere, almost everywhere beside here. I think I'm going to add one here because this is what I wanted to avoid. See, inside there it's super bad. Super bad, and you can see that retaining wall as well. So I have to add here a black door as well. Added some grass. I was telling you earlier that for instance here there was an extra node. I had to get rid of it. I had to do that for many roads in order to make them smoother and good looking. I even added some little details in some cases like this one, but it's impossible to add unless I do them manually. This is this is a network, but I could have added like one by one lines, but I didn't want that. Even though maybe some arrows would work, I don't think there are in real life as well, so I'm not sure if we should add that there too. Now looking on the Google Earth, let's move back here on Google Earth. I had to find a building to fit here in this particular corner. It's Bercy 2, it's a Carrefour, whatever, it's like a shopping center. Here it's a parking area and a hotel, and here some warehouses, distribution centers and whatnot also on this side. Well, my empty space was not that big, and here I've made this road in a curve, so probably that was not the case to do it. But anyways, let's watch the time lapse so I can tell you exactly how it was done. After I found the building, this building that you see here, it's made by Lumineux, and usually, I mean, this is a building from La Défense area, but I had to use it here, even though sometimes in the future I'm going to do La Défense as well, but I have to use it here as well. I didn't find anything to match that particular building that I was showing you earlier, so yeah, this one kind of fits here, and it was kind of too bad not to use it, if you ask me. I made some tunnels here because these are probably some roads that are coming and getting inside a parking area there, underground parking area. They will be probably used in the future as well. Sadly, all these interchange, it's not yet totally functioning because only the highway is working, and the other roads are actually not being used because we don't have them linked with anything else. I can't, even for the looks, link them with anything else. So for now, we will not be able to see it properly functioning. But later, when we will advance here in Little France and make more stuff on both sides of the river and whatnot, trust me, I will even make one cinematic episode where I'm going to show you how that is going to actually work. Good. On this side of the commercial building here, commercial area, we have a hotel, and I found one as well. Well, tried to make one looking pretty similar, let's say, and I made it out of two buildings there, not that bad looking. And in front of the commercial area here on this side, there is like a little area where there are some cars that can stop to probably bringing in some goods to the commercial area. I'm not totally sure, but there are some vans and different kind of cars parked there for now. And here I'm using a parking, a Japanese parking building. I had to get rid of, I turned it into a procedure object, and I had to get rid of all the Japanese signs there, because you know, French and Japanese don't match that good. Not the same thing. And behind there I had to add, you know, the same trick with the dark door, black door, to make it look like hey, you get inside there. It's not functioning. It's just for the looks, so cars will actually not going inside there. Hey, we can't make everything work there, right? And I had to cover the other extra Japanese name with a McDonald's sign. I didn't have any, or I didn't thought of anything else. More ploppable asphalt, and probably we can have that, let's say, particular area from the front of the commercial area, commercial shopping mall. Let's call it shopping mall, because like, it's a shopping mall after all, right? It's a commercial building, so yeah, shopping mall. I will add more, of course, I will add more concrete barriers and whatnot to, let's say, guide all these cars through all the areas. I mean, to make it more safety for people even staying, you know, near the shopping mall there. Adding all kind of detailing on the ground, on the roads, like stains, lines, cracks, dirt, whatever it takes to give an extra look. And I didn't add anything on the road themselves, because they actually look pretty cool. They have tire marks, everything, and they have enough details. By the way, for those who are interested, everything I'm using here can be found on my workshop, not on my workshop, sorry, in a collection. At the description of this video you can find everything you need. There are 2 collections for assets, 1 collection for mods, and those can help you to find in case you saw something that I don't know, you're interested in to use as well. Cool. The save games are always uploaded on my Patreon account. Always. I'm uploading save games for Little France, Arndorf, or any other build I have or I want to do or I'm doing nowadays. I'm uploading them there, only there, and not on the workshop or anything else, so, or anywhere else. In case you want to have them, you have to be on Patreon as well. Good. Before we end up, well, we have a little bit more of these time lapse. I want to show you also like a live moment from the map as well to show how things look like, and then the cinematics will hit. This is mostly the build for the interchange itself, with some details added to the interchange, some buildings, and the roads near this interchange, the ones with which we started. But in the next episode, in the next not an episode, in another part of Little France, of an episode of Little France, I will show you the when I'm plopping down the warehouses, and when I'm continuing probably with the rail yard behind there. Before we end up, I wanted to add a few more things, like this building here, which is on the upper side of the roads of the bridge there. I don't know what its purpose is, but I had to do it as well. I didn't want to leave that empty area there. Maybe I could have added bushes or trees or something like that, but I wanted to add that this particular a building here, yeah, to match the one that exists there. It's Bercy Port, I don't know. Oh my god, I like the fact that I keep struggling. It says on the Google says it's Porte de Bercy. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know exactly what it is there, and what's the purpose of the building. But hey, I've tried to manage to do it. I added some stairs as well, for people can actually take the stairs from the upper side, from the bridge, and getting down there. There will be another road with a parking area in the made up there, and all the necessary details to make it look properly. I was, to be honest, I was even thinking to add the full time-lapse video on my Patreon account, but I'm not sure if anyone is interested. If you are, guys, please let me know. I can upload them, unless you tell me too late, and then I will not be able to upload it, because I will delete my files. They are very, very, very big, and I need space on my SSD. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. The last thing I was doing was this tram station. There is a tram station on the bridge, and I need to overlap these tram lines with the road. It was kind of wonky. There were so many trial and errors, so many little shaky with Move It. I had to shake all the nodes, and everything there was pretty hard and nasty, but eventually I found it and I managed to fix it and to make it work properly. I will show it in the live session in a few seconds probably. And all the gaps there were covered with ploppable asphalt and ploppable grass if it was necessary. And on the margins I'm adding more retaining walls, because it's not like it's a bridge, a complete bridge everywhere. So I had to add some retaining walls as well. Cool. Now being on the map, let's have a look here. The last look. This is the building that I don't know still the purpose of it. I surrounded it with these retaining walls and ploppable pavement here. Here it's a completely working parking area, but no one is coming, even though I added some services inside here. This is a service, it's the office building. It seems 2 people are working there, but I don't know how yet they got there. This one is also working. It seems this guy actually did park here. But as I was mentioning earlier, this is not completely functioning, this interchange here, because, well, these roads are not linked to anywhere here. Only here I linked it like this. So for those who will want to reach this area or this area, they have to go from here. The reason why I haven't finished these bridges is because I don't know yet where they will have to reach. There will be a big rail yard here, continuing the rail yard from the main station, from the main train station, Gare de Lyon. From there, so I don't want to make mistakes. All these things, warehouses and whatnot, they will be shown in the next episode or next part of the episode, together with this forgotten, abandoned rail yard as well. But yes, for now, this is it, guys. I'll leave you with the cinematics. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. Hope you found a lot of inspiration. Let me know in the comment section what you think. You know, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. You can support my channel on Patreon as well if you want to do that. But till next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and I salute you.